All right, so we start now.
Okay.
Everyone, hello, good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you might be joining us from any part of the world. You're welcome to the July edition of Clan Initiative Monthly Green Webinar Series. And this month we have a great topic before us, ending water poverty in Nigeria. Uh, as we know that water is a universal solvent and we need water for practically everything that we do and so many human activities and so many tasks. It becomes very, very uncomfortable when there is life without water. And today we have before us an amazing personality and professional in this field, in this space of water management and water projects in Nigeria. Our guest today is Mr. Onyedikachi of Rector. Who'll be talking to us on that topic, ending water poverty in Nigeria. You're welcome, Mr. Rector.
Nice to thank you.
Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself a bit and share about your work and what you do?
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, everyone, wherever you are. My name is Onyedikachi of Rector. I'm the founder of Rector Foundation and also the founder of Rector Group. So let me talk more about my background. My first degree is in environmental engineering, Federal University of Technology, Owerri. I went on to do my first master's in petroleum geoscience in University of Port Harcourt. Then I also did another master's in data science. So I have degree in environmental, petroleum geoscience, and data science, 3 different courses. So actually, Rector Foundation initiative started in 2018. We go to different communities to provide clean and safe water to them, and it's been a ride. Growing up, I grew up from a family where my mom usually go to prisons to provide things for prisoners. So when I was young, I saw my mom firsthand, always collecting my clothes, collecting stuff from me to go to the prison and give them back. So I've always had that initiative that I really want to follow my mom's step to give back to the community, to give back to people. So and I grew up from an environment where we didn't have clean water. Actually, we go through a lot of stress. We go everywhere, go miles to fetch water. Both in Owerri, I grew up in Owerri, Imo State, both in Owerri and my village, Abia State. So growing up, I've always had this idea of I really want to help people get clean water. I want them to have a comfort of fetching clean water at their doorstep. Although this idea is not easy, but it all started in 2020 when during the pandemic, a friend of mine, Don Isolo Gunye, who is the founder of Medic and Reswaye, she contacted me for us to do a project at Lambasa, Etiosa local government area. So that was how this whole ride has been, and it has been a wonderful journey so far. And I love what I'm doing, providing clean water to communities. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing that background. It kind of resonates with me too. Sometimes while growing up, some of our experiences or some of our journeys, they kind of tend to lead us further into the future. My
Exactly.
mom also was, she's late now, but she was also like a disciplinarian and she was this nerd for cleanliness, tidiness, and she forced me to sweep, clean the environment. And so from there, it became a habit for me. And, after graduation, I also wanted to give back to the world with what I love to do. And that was how we found ourselves here. So, yeah, so diving into today's topic, the topic that we have for us, ending water poverty in Nigeria. So, we know about poverty. We know that when we hear poverty in quotes, we tend to think about money. We tend to think about lack of food, lack of clothes, poverty. But now let's talk of water poverty. From my own view, I believe water is like one of the most abundant resources that anywhere you go in the world, you find water through
Exactly.
through a river, through an ocean. So now water poverty. So what is water poverty? Or maybe you can help us, or maybe starting from what water is from your own perspective as a professional. You can also pick it up from there, then look into water poverty.
Okay, thank you for the question. Water in general is just, water can be clean and unclean. It just depends on how you look at it. So water in general is just, um, how will I put it? Like, it depends on what you want to use the water to do, whether it's for agricultural purposes or drinking purposes or anything you want to use the water to do. But there is a difference on what you want to use the water to do. That's where the water poverty comes in. So the poverty means lack. When you're poor, it means you're lacking something.
Yeah.
So water poverty now comes in with the lack of water, lack of access to water. You understand? So a lot of people have, because some of us grew up with, maybe a few years back, we grew up with the abundance of water around us. We believe that everybody in the world have this water around them. Yeah, people in Sahara Desert that don't even have clean water. Talk about unclean water. They don't even have water. You understand? So the lack of water is water poverty. So we looked at it in such a way that there are many communities who don't even have water. They're more of, they have streams. Some have stream, they go to fetch water. Some don't even have the water at all. So that's where the initiative came in. So I feel like water and water poverty comes in hand when you want to provide water to a community.
Mm. Thank you so much for that insights. You know, that part of saying that it's what you want to use water for. That's when it becomes, so. Let's say some people, they have water in abundance in their community, but they need access to safe and clean drinking water. Then it
Exactly.
becomes poverty in that aspect. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never saw it in that aspect. So now, looking at Nigeria, so how wide is water poverty in Nigeria? Because like I grew up in the southwest, and I spent some time in the south part of Nigeria. So, but now I don't know how much of what happens in the east, in the north, and different parts of Nigeria. So, looking at Nigeria as a whole, so how widespread is water poverty in Nigeria?
Yeah, according to World Health Organization, they say that at least over 60 million Nigerians don't have access to clean water, which is a big number. So, and nobody is saying anything. The government, every 4 years, they say they will provide clean water. Most of the people that use the water board, the government, most of them don't even use the water again because some of the water are unclean as well. So most people build their own boreholes, the ones that have money right now. So even the so-called Lagos don't even have clean water like that, especially places in the island like Lekki. Most of them don't have clean water. They have to drill a borehole and bring in what they call it. They have to like treat the water, treatment plants for them to drink clean water. So the numbers are high. We need a lot of stakeholders to come together to provide this clean water and end this water poverty. And the widespread is really increasing. From the south, most of the like growing up, our water board have stopped. I don't know when last people even fetch water from water board. When I say water board, are
Yeah.
the pipes that
Mm.
connect to houses. Yeah, a lot of people don't really use them again, but they use most of boreholes. Like in my house in Owerri, we have a borehole. Many houses in the southeast, they all have boreholes, both in their village and in the community, in the city. So is a thing. Then people who can build these boreholes, what will not happen to them? That's where we come in to do our work, to provide for them and provide this clean water for them free of charge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Looking at one of the sustainable development goals, I
Oh,
think SDG 6, which
yeah, goal
talks
6.
about yeah, clean water and sanitation. And I was just looking around or looking onto your YouTube channel
Okay.
last night, and
Okay.
I saw the project you did in Langbasa during COVID-19, which was like very, very, very great and very, very beautiful. Because at that time, washing of hands, like it was very, very, very much important and critical and helping. Because I watched the pregnant woman in the video. She was saying they buy maybe a keg of water for 50 naira or 60 naira.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that is like so amazing. That is so lovely. But like, what are the other consequences of water poverty? Yeah, we know about public health, but would you like share with us like some
Other
other consequences of water poverty in
Yeah,
Nigeria?
for the question. Other consequences are diarrhea, cholera. Water poverty can also deny children from going to school much early. Like some of them might want to go to school on time, but because of they have to trek miles to go to the stream to go and fetch water, they miss school. You understand? It can also affect pregnant women who are in the healthcare centers in the community. Like the last project we did in Imo State, our project was directly opposite to the healthcare center. We had to connect the pipes from our borehole to the healthcare center. And they gave a community leader money to build borehole for the healthcare center,
Oh,
and he had the
wow,
money. So you see
wow,
where we are coming from now. Like now, currently, the healthcare
wow,
center is really using the borehole we built for the village for their own
wow.
use. And when you go there, you see a lot of pregnant women also in the healthcare center. And I believe the clean water we get is also helping them in many issues going on there. So clean water is very essential and useful to everyone.
Wow, 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 wow. Nice. Let's talk about children because, like, one of our focus or one of our focal points in at clan initiatives, we look at the leaders of tomorrow, we look at the future generations. So, is there like any statistics or any insight of like the impact of clean water, quality of safe water, when it concerns children in Nigeria?
I don't know much about the statistics right now, but unclean water can lead to death if possible. So I've been to communities where because of they drink on dirty water, they rush them to the clinic for medicals, and most of the parents don't even have the money for the medical attention. You understand? So from the experience we have in this project we do, we've seen cases of children who on clean water have like done a lot to their health system, like cholera, like I said, and diarrhea. And we're even trying to shoot a movie soon so that we can create more
Oh, nice.
awareness. Yeah, we're trying to shoot a movie soon. We are trying to create more awareness what this water poverty can cause to children and the impact. So we're trying to let people know the value of this water we are really preaching about. And it's really bad if you go to these communities and see what they go through. Most of them, they are used to this stream water that they don't even care anymore. You understand? They say what you don't know doesn't kill you. So we're trying to. So when we provide this clean water to them, we still try to preach to them to leave what the stream water and start drinking the clean water. So is a big education. As much as we are providing this work, we need to educate them every day that this
Yeah,
is what they
yeah,
need to be drinking, not this other one, because they are
yeah,
used to this stream water so much that they don't want to leave it anymore and all that. So
yeah, yeah. Talking of Nigeria, like in general, as a professional, do you know if there are kind of initiatives that the government is probably taking? Because I know in Nigeria, like everybody is his own water corporation. Because yeah, once you build a house or once you start building a house, you start thinking of at least the barest minimum is your well.
yeah,
Then
well,
if you have more resources, you think of having a pumping machine,
uh,
a storage or a tank, then having to supply water from your well. Then if you really have money, You can think of borehole, like having a borehole. So, but like not everybody has access to like probably not everybody has a well, be able to get people to dig a well, pumping
Yeah.
machine or borehole. So, do you know if there's anything that the government is trying to do in general to make water accessible?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Right now, the problem we have in Nigeria, as much as we are doing our best to do this project, we've done in Lagos, Imo State, Abia. We're currently doing one right now, but I don't want to say the place because we're trying to do a campaign on it for people to guess where we are doing the water project and win prizes. So um, the problem Nigerians have in general, I will not say like most Nigerians have, especially the government have is maintenance. You understand? We have this water, when you build this water project, even the one our organization built, for them to maintain it, the sustainability, that's where the issue is right now. Currently, there is this state that contacted me to go and help them work on their water board. They've abandoned it.
Hmm.
So right, they've abandoned the whole water project the state government built. So I believe maybe it's the former governor that built it, and this other government, they've been trying their best to do something else. It's not working. So they are trying to call us to find a way to help them work on this water project that they've been abandoned. So I feel what Nigerians need is when they do these water projects, they need to find a way to maintain it, and also that maintenance culture so that it can live for 10 years, 20 years. And so I feel like that's one of our issue. Then secondly, we need to like explore other ideas. Most times we just explore any boreholes and that's it. There are other ideas like wastewater treatment, you understand, where you can use waste and convert it to water. Like there's one Bill Gates is also working on, I think from the toilet, you can use the toilet water to drink the water and all that. So we need to explore different ways of this ending water poverty. And also, I feel if the government can't handle these projects on their own, they can also privatize it to other organizations who are willing to take this whole water issue to the next level. Just the way like in the privatize all these oil companies, oil refineries. I believe the government, if they can't handle this water projects by themselves, they can give it to private companies who can take care of it and work on it. There are many technologies going on. I work with a company called Grundfos in Denmark. They have an idea where you can buy and sell water with an ATM card. Yeah, it's called AQ Tap. So I used it in my last project. So such initiative can help people know the value of water. Yes, so like abroad, in that people abroad, because of you pay for your water, you know the value of water. I believe we need to also bring that initiative in Nigeria where people can buy and sell water with their ATM card. All you just need to do is load it like 5,000 naira and you can use it and be fetching water throughout the whole month or 2 months or 3 months. So it's an initiative we're trying to collaborate with Groundforce and bring it to Nigeria. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. My next question was going to be about wastewater treatment
Okay.
because yeah, I was privileged to live in Washington for like 8 months,
Oh,
and I learned about their wastewater treatment. In fact, I visited a wastewater treatment plant.
okay.
So, and because sometimes when you are using water, because part of sustainability is maximizing the use of resources.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes when I'm using water, I always feel like, oh, maybe I'm wasting water. But when I was in Washington there, if I flush or if I throw water or put water in the kitchen, I believe it's going somewhere.
Wait somewhere and to come back. Yeah.
Yeah, so I visited the wastewater treatment and saw like the process of how they recycle the water. And interestingly, there are many other products that come out of like that wastewater treatment.
Mhm.
They get biogas from it. They get
Exactly.
what they call biosolid or loop, that is
Mhm.
like a fertilizer. Yeah, that's like a natural manure for plants. And they also get recycled water. So
Mhm.
this recycled water is like water that has manure in it. So they use it for golf courses and all other things like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, just thinking in that line of having water to, like, instead of wasting water, because people use water to do
exactly.
like a lot of things and
Thanks.
eventually it gets wasted. They want to throw it away.
Uh-huh.
But let's say water from the washing machine, from the kitchen, from the toilet
Uh-huh.
can, go back or recycle. So I don't know if there's anything that Rector Cares Foundation is like doing in this line, or if, yeah, probably to add to sustainability courses or projects.
We're looking into that, but one issue we have in what in anything water poverty is just the finance. Any water projects like this wastewater you're talking about, the funding, the finance is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
It's millions of dollars.
capital intensive. It's
Like
capital,
capital
yeah.
intensive. So that's the issue.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you pitch these ideas to organization, I've sent proposals to all the companies in Nigeria. I've not received any feedback. Most people I get
Wow.
feedback is just from outside the country. So a lot of people don't even care what's going, even the federal government, people don't care about because of the money involved. So people feel like water, what is water? You understand? But when you're now very sick or you're now ill and it's clean water you need to use to drink your drug, you now know the essential of clean water. So we need to just preach this whole idea that we need such type of ideas to build a wastewater treatment, which is good and it will go very far. But the problem is with these government officials be ready to bring out such money to invest.
Mm.
We need to start looking at such type of investment in Nigeria if we need to end water poverty, because to truth be told, borehole drilling can't really do much. It can only give water to that house and maybe people around that place. But if we really want to stretch our hands to provide clean water to 1,000, 2,000, a whole city, we need to look into wastewater or water purification, getting water from streams or rivers and purify it and then distribute it. So that's what we need to be looking at in future, but they are very, very capital intensive. But we won't give up. We'll still be preaching the good news of water poverty and till they hear us and be ready to invest in it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So again, we know that you are the founder of Rector Cares Foundation, and we've seen a little bit of your projects, of the wonderful things you are doing. But could you tell us more about how your foundation or your organization is trying to address this issue of water poverty in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you for the question. Rector Cares actually is an NGO which provides clean and safe water to rural areas in Nigeria. So we in 2020 during the pandemic we didn't have much funding, so everybody was at home. So what we just needed, I and my friend Donyi Solo Gunye, we were doing much of crowdfunding. And crowdfunding is difficult to convince people that when you tell them, during that pandemic, there's this community that need water, they will be like, people have not eaten yet. People are hungry. You're talking about water. Like, you understand? So it was difficult convincing people during that pandemic. And thank God everything went well. We raised almost 1 million. Then we did our project in Lambasa, and then Union Bank was like doing a program where people who did something during the pandemic, that people should nominate them or something like that. So people
Mm.
nominated I and Doyin Sola. We won an award, and they gave us cash prize of 300,000 each. So that's how we now stay growing from there. Then the next time,
Uh,
just to write a proposal in Union Bank, and from there I was like, okay, I feel people are getting to know much about this water poverty, and yeah. So since then we've gotten funding from Grownforce, where with people we partner. They is a company who they do more of water equipment, like pumps, like solar pumps. So they have their organization every year. They give out grants to people, to organizations that provide clean water to in different part of the world. So I wrote them. They saw what I was doing, and they funded the projects I was doing, and that was how I grew from there. So we've done in Imo State, we did a solar water project, and which we connected the water to a healthcare center and a school, and everybody's using the clean water till now. We did in Abia State, and we've helped over 30,000 people get clean water. Yeah. And currently we are doing one also right now, which I'll announce later on my social media. So
Yeah, yeah, nice, nice, nice. Well done. Kudos, and great work you are doing in Nigeria.
thank you.
So another question is like, how can individuals and organizations outside Nigeria, because also at Clan, we are also like trying to spread our tentacles and do more and
Mhm.
get visibility from other parts. But how do you think individuals, organizations can support the cause of addressing water poverty in Nigeria or the country?
No, sorry, repeat your question. I didn't get it.
I said, how can individuals and organizations outside Nigeria support the cause of addressing water poverty in the country?
Is by partnership. Like most of these organizations, because of their past experience, for them to fund NGOs, I feel they are more skeptic about it this period, especially when they bring up big amount of money. They feel like this person might not do this project, or I feel from their past experience. So the people I partner with, you have to know someone in the organization that who can vouch for you that you're going to do this project. So when I got the first funding, I went all out to let them know that this money they are giving me, I'm going to use it for the project and the project alone. So since then, they've have this belief in me, and since then we've done like 2 projects together. And I believe like for any organization or anybody outside the country that wants to get involved, is either through crowdfunding, or some individual might want to fund the project if they have the money, or maybe an organization that is interested in water poverty can contact any NGO. Not only Rector Cares, there are many NGOs doing water projects. There's a lady I normally speak with, Mrs. Osen. I think her organization is Green Optimal. So she also do water projects as well. So if all these organizations outside the country and even within the country can support as well, you know, like especially companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nigerian Railways, all these companies, if they can support, I feel we can do more and provide more clean water to rural areas in Nigeria.
Yeah, nice. Thank you so much for sharing. I know you have a presentation
Okay.
slide that you like to show us. So I'll bring that up now. Then we can. Okay. Yeah. So the slide is up now. So just let me know when you want to go to the next slide.
Okay. So this the first slide is talking about let us end water poverty and eradicate cholera in Nigeria. Because from water poverty, a lot of people get cholera in Nigeria, and the numbers coming out from Nigeria who have cholera is a lot, and which the cholera issue is from water poverty, but a lot of people pay deaf ears to these issues. Yeah, you have cholera, just go to the hospital and all that. But if everyone in Nigeria have clean water, I feel the numbers in cholera will reduce drastically. So how is Rector Cares Foundation making a difference in ending water poverty in Nigeria? The next. So the problem statement is that millions of people in Nigeria do not have access to clean water. And this is a picture of one of the projects I did in Abia State. Most times when we go to do projects in any community, we go to their streams to show people actually this is where they fetch water, and this is why we are building this project for them. So the stream, we went to the stream to interview some of them on why they still fetch clean water, and they say that they don't have any option. This is all they have. As you can see, the state of this water. I know most of you listening to my voice won't dare to drink water from this stream. So this is people's reality, and you can't do anything about it. And the government is not helping either. So the lack of access to clean water has a lot of impact to health, education, economic development. Like these two young ladies now, maybe if they are supposed to go to school, see where they are fetching water, it will affect their education as well. Health-wise, if they are going to drink this water at home, it will lead to different sickness like diarrhea, cholera, and co. Then, according to World Health, 60 million Nigerians do not have access to clean water. And for real, if you go around Nigeria, both in the northern part and the west and the south, you realize that from my experience going to communities to interview them, you see a lot of people don't have clean water. They don't have clean water, but because of most Nigerians who stay in Abuja or big cities, they don't know what people in the rural areas are going through. And most times we just go to our villages for Christmas for just 1 week, 2 weeks, and we don't really explore what is really going around us. So a lot of people do not have clean water, and it's a problem. So this is the same thing. It's same statistics from UNICEF talking about nearly 1/3 of Nigerians do not have access to clean water on a daily basis in 2021. So this about children. The Nigerian children live in areas of high or extremely high water vulnerability. Next page.
Yeah, this is the next. Or should I go to the next?
Okay, yes, yeah, next one. Okay. So this is one of the projects we did in Abia State. It's the solar water project about, let's say, about 50 to 100 people come here to fetch water daily, or if not more. And this is what we, because of the water projects are capital intensive, for now, Rector Cares are solely doing solar water projects, which they don't need a generator. All they just need is sun, and they can pump the water. So the solutions are mainly solar power boreholes, wastewater treatment, and other methods. So Rector Cares right now, we don't have the funding for wastewater. We are doing more of solar water boreholes. And in future, we are thinking about using wind turbines to power water project. That's the next step we're going into, maybe next year, ending of this year, if we get the funding. Then also, we need to educate these people fetching this water on the sustainability, how to take care of this project, because we don't really have like a maintenance culture. And also let them know the importance of this water project given to them, because if you don't educate them, they are going to abandon it. All they'll just care about is the water, and that's it. And the day it gets spoiled, everybody goes back to their stream water. So you need to educate them. So Rector Care is also bringing up an initiative called Water Entrepreneurship Program, where we can train people to become entrepreneurs using water. So we've drawn out the outline, which by very soon we'll start mentoring them on this water entrepreneurship program. Then also empower women and girls on how to use the water management, how to use water anytime they want to use the water. And also we're trying to bring in the software called the AQ tab, where these people can also know the importance of water by buying water, maybe 50 naira with their ATM cards. The AQ tab comes with an ATM card, which will be shared to many women, and they will know the importance of using this water when they come to fetch water. So this is our second solar power borehole. This is in Imo State. Behind this project is a primary school. where children, we connected the pipe behind to the school where they fetch water during their break time and anytime they want to use it. So we had to use underground pipes to connect it to the school. And also by the left is the healthcare center. We connected the underground pipes to the healthcare center. So the community fetch water from the front and the school used their own behind, and the healthcare center used theirs by the left. So one project is solving three issues. The healthcare center is for health in general, so that people that come to the healthcare center can drink clean water and they will be treated with clean water as well. They can take their drugs with clean water as well. Then the children behind also, they can drink clean water and be healthy as well. And the community is also using clean water. So it's a situation of using one stone to kill three birds. And that's the situation we did here right now. So we're trying to show people that we are using a solar powered borehole. You can see the panels. So there's no generator, it's just solar fully. Both the lights, the lights is solar, everything is solar. So even in the night or daytime, they can fetch water and go home peacefully. Yeah. So these are statistics of what Rector Cares have done so far. You can see Lagos State in 2020, we partnered with Medic to provide clean water with them. Then in 2021, Abia State, we partnered with the Grown Force and Power the Joseph Foundation to provide clean water. And also in Imo State, we partnered with Power the Joseph Foundation and Grown Force to provide clean water. So our idea is to keep going to different states in the map to see how we can end this water poverty. We can't really do it on our own, but we are doing our best with the little funding we get to keep going to different states, and we'll keep trying our best. Yeah. Next. So these are the statistics. In Lagos, the water project we did in Lambasa, we reached to about 5,830 indigents in that area. In Abia State, it was about 15,000 plus, Imo State, 17,000 plus. So these are the data where we get, when we do a project, we also collect data. And Rector Cares also have a survey form where survey.rectorcaresfoundation.com, where people can go there to let us know that their community don't have, they can fill a form. It's a form, survey.rectorcaresfoundation.com. You go to the form, put in your name, your community name, and let us know that your community needs clean water, and we'll see how we can come to your community and help. So call to action. Different NGOs have different ways of solving water projects, some donation, some grants, some partnership. Like I said, Rector Cares Foundation can't do all by themselves by providing water to the whole Nigeria. It's a collective effort. All organizations who are into providing clean water and who are not into providing clean water can do their part in any little way. Like recently, I'm also doing a project in education. So we are also trying to move a little bit away from water as well. So it's not really only water. So other organizations that are into something else, they can also maybe diverse into water a little bit. It can be wastewater, it can be anything. All we're just saying is like all hands on deck to solve this issue, because Rector Cares can't do this alone. It's a collective effort. If you have someone in the government who they are finding it difficult to do something, we can call any organizations and they can help to revive that water project and keep it going, because we all need water. But no matter how rich you are, how poor you are, you need water. So it's a collective effort. Then the problems we face is finance, capital intensive. Then sometimes we go to some communities like the one we are doing right now. You're trying to give them water. Some communities would say they don't want water. You have to settle them. Unless you're not going to drill borehole in their own community, you're trying to give them clean water and they don't even want the water. Some of the youths and other people, they come to like disturb, try to scatter the whole thing, that they feel like it's a government project. And we are letting them know this is not a government project. This is an NGO. They'll be like, if you don't give us 200,000 naira, they're not going to drill any borehole here. And I'm like, this borehole is going to help, as in the community. Not only, why are you so selfish that you want us to give you 200,000 naira? So these are things we see. Even currently in the project I'm doing right now, I have the bill with me. They gave me a bill of 240,000 for unless they are going to scatter the drilling machine that we bought.
Really?
So these
Wow.
things that we face, that sometimes we don't post it on social media, but we just find a way to do our project and go. And these are communities where I am not even from. You understand? You're trying to go to a community where you're not from and do a water project where they'll benefit from it. And at the same time, they don't even want the water because of they just want their own money for their pockets. So these are the problems we face, and also trying to let people know the usefulness of this water, especially organizations and governments and stakeholders, letting them know that water poverty is a thing. Like I said, well, that's why I'm shooting a movie soon to also like address this issue and let people know that you need to bring out funding for this. You can't be using 500,000 naira if you want to provide clean water to 1 million people. It's not possible. You have to bring out the money. You understand? Like you said, you went to Washington, D.C. And you saw how the wastewater treatment was going. That's for you to build a wastewater treatment, at least from what I saw online, is about $5 million to $10 million. So that's a lot of funding into that. So that's the problems. And if you want to know more about Rector Cares Foundation, you can visit our website and know more about Rector Cares. If you want to volunteer, we have a volunteer page, online volunteering, and yeah, we'll keep in touch. And if you have any information you want to share, you can also let us know. Yeah. So finally, water is a basic human right, and everyone deserves access to clean water. And with your help, Rector Cares Foundation can continue to provide clean water to communities in need in Nigeria. Like I say, it's a collective effort. Everybody, all hands on deck. We have to do this together. Not really like a Rector Cares thing. It's everybody's thing, because water is a basic human right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Onyedikachi. Very nice. So definitely some of our mission and our kind of vision kind of aligns.
Mm.
So we'll find some time at a point to partner and collaborate with rectors to also carry out or fulfill the SDG 6 goal, which is clean water and sanitation.
Exactly.
Yeah, so quickly,
And
I'll open the
SDG, sorry to cut you, SDG 17 partnership. I think it's partnership.
partnership. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I would open the floor now for questions. I know definitely people might have like one or two questions to ask. Um, so I'll open the floor now the remaining time that we have
Okay.
on this call. So please, if you have a question, you can just raise your hand or unmute to ask our guests.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining us today. I have like a question and a suggestion in between both, and you do such a great work, This is something that, I'm particularly proud of, because I know that for people like you and I, we might not know how intense, ordinary water can be.
Yeah.
Getting for other people. Having access to clean, potable water to
Yeah.
other people just like you and I just wanted to ask that, is your project focused on like the South?
No, not really. It's not focused. It's pan Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay.
I've done it. Well, actually, the one I'm doing currently is also in the South, but is due to the reason that the people that funded it, the person is from that particular area. That was why.
Area.
Yes.
Okay. Because I can see that you don't Imo, Lagos, and
Yeah.
Just okay.
Apart,
Because yeah, go on.
I say after this project, I'll not do in the south in a long time. I'll focus on the northwest again and also south. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I know that for the solar um the solar borehole, I don't know how you call it,
Yeah.
it's something that can, be very useful in the north as well, because of course, that they have, extreme sunshine,
Exactly. Yeah.
for lack of the right choice of term. And I know that I've joined some people to volunteer to create water around that area, but they still have to use the manual
Manual pumping.
yeah, that pump that you
Manual
have to
pump.
press.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, because they have no electricity,
Okay.
so they don't have these overhead tanks.
Yeah.
So even after, you've drilled the borehole and it's there, people had to walk miles from
Mm.
different communities, come to that spot. And, it's just one tap you can install.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just that one tap. And, it takes a long time and a lot of human effort
Effort.
to
Yeah.
get like your bucket or your bowl full.
Yeah.
So with the innovation
Mm.
of solar,
Mm.
they can have, something like what you have, done here.
Okay.
And I think it will even, work better. There's just that, I mean, now things are pretty calm over there.
Yeah.
So if you
Which,
ever
which
have
state?
another,
Which state? If I may ask.
did I go? Well, I did go to, and another thing is that I did go to Adamawa State,
Okay. Okay.
a village in Adamawa State.
Mm.
And contrary to some of the things that we hear
Mm.
in this part of the country, they're very welcoming.
Okay.
I can assure you that you will not have one single issue
Yeah.
of agbero or
Okay.
anybody coming to say that, bring money for helping us. You will not. We have never experienced that.
Okay.
Especially when as long as you met their community heads,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
they are very.
Let me answer your question. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah.
my name, I have an Hausa name. My middle name is Aliyu. My grandmom is from Kefi. Yeah. So
Wow.
I've always wanted to do something in the north. It's just like in this whole thing I'm learning as well. So the way it
Oh
works
yeah.
for now is that I send out proposals, you understand, or
Mhm.
grants to different companies. And like I sent one in River State, the north
Mhm.
and everything. The northern part, because of the terrain, is very
Mhm.
expensive to do boreholes there. So when you
Mhm.
send out proposals, sometimes they just pick the one that is more cheaper. And
Yeah.
it finally boils down to the southwest or south side because it's easy to get clean water in all those kind of places.
Mhm.
But in the
Mhm.
north, let's say because of the topography, the terrain, you have to drill about 800, 900 feet to get water. You understand? So my goal is to do in the north next, after this one I'm doing right now, to push towards to the north and convince companies and organizations to do there as well. And I know some of these organizations, they're also scared about maybe insecurity in some other places as well.
Mhm.
So, but we just convincing and hoping that they accept our proposals in this
Yeah.
project, because if crowdfunding is difficult to get such amount of money for
Yes.
crowdfunding, and one project in the north, I don't know, in most northern places, because of the terrain, only the drilling to drill a borehole might cost like 10 to 12 million naira.
Wow.
So that's just drilling. We've not talked about buying the solar equipment and other things. So
Well, I know that you might have challenges. I mean, if at any point in time you
yeah,
want to work in Adama, for instance,
okay.
we have drilled, several boreholes there, and it's not that expensive because we have people that do it.
Wait, okay.
But the only problem would be, because they don't have access roads to some of those villages.
Okay.
So transportation will be very costly.
Okay.
To maybe transport, other parts of, the construction, like, you have the overhead tanks and all that. But aside that, and another thing that you can include in your proposal for the North is that, when is their own dry season, they don't even have streams. Their streams dry up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So like, it's quite difficult. I think it's more difficult in that area. Their streams are like very shallow during like the very, hot season. So I really like you to include them in your vision.
Okay. Which side in Adamawa is the Yola or
No, I don't stay there. I did go there for work, water as well. So not Yola, in a village there called Koma. There are other small villages as well. It's about 4 hours by road from Yola.
So, but if you want to do
Yeah.
something in future, do you have like contacts that we can contact during that time? Because
Yes, I
have
have
to do the
contact there. In fact, they called me a few days ago. I have contact there because I volunteer with an NGO that used to, provide water there as well as other things. I used to do that personally as well. They're a very lovely community. So they're mostly Christians. So we know like maybe their pastors or like the head of their church,
Okay.
and missionaries are doing some things there as well. So it's a very peaceful place. Relatively peaceful, but it's there's no electricity, so that's why I was thinking that this solar thing might be a very great idea. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. We'll look into it, and yeah,
So we
Adamawa.
as Clan, we're always ready to collaborate,
Yeah.
work together.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much.
My
Yeah,
pleasure.
thanks, Adijoke. Thanks for the questions and contributions. Any other question? I think we'll be able to take one more question before we wrap up for okay, Precious Ugushimure. You can unmute to ask a question. Hello,
Yeah, hi.
Precious. You can unmute.
Yeah, I'm
Hello.
with you, Mr. Uri. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Onyedikachi. I don't know if I pronounced it right,
Yes, you
for
did.
your very nice presentation. So, while you were talking, I noticed you said something about more like pay as you go system for water system in Nigeria. I don't know if I did get you right.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to beg you, sir, please don't even think of bringing that to the political system now.
Okay.
Because already we are suffering. Let me use
Yeah.
the word in general. So please, the pay as you go system, it's actually a good thing, but at the long run, we know how the poor masses, let's just use the word like he said, we should let them breathe, we should let the poor masses breathe. So the poor masses are really going to suffer
Yeah.
from this. I don't know if you get my point. So that's one. And two,
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking, like you've had work in the southeast, and I'm just thinking in my head, how are you coping with the insecurity part of it? I don't know if you stayed there, because I think you said something about growing up in Imo. I don't know if you're still there now. Maybe that's why you have this serious, strong mindset of working in the east. I really do envy your courage, because I'm wondering in my mind, how do you transport all these equipment, maybe from Lagos or wherever you get them from? And then you talked about one where you have to bribe or pay. I don't know if you did pay, where they stress you before you can actually build something for them. I mean, I'm trying to do something on that, but we're still having the same issue. It's even here in the west, somewhere in Oyo State, and it's really tough. And I really like the fact that Adijake brought because I was going to ask, I don't know, but last time I checked, I think the northern part of the country suffer more as regards access to good water in the country, like in general. So I really like Adijake for always going to the north for that. I think she does that a lot. I actually served in Josh, like in Plateau State, and out of the 70 local government back then, we had to work on some things, and I would say like 10 of them, 10 local governments that we tried to work on. I mean, if you go there, you would really pity these guys. It's either the stream or something. It's just the not just north, just south. I don't know if you've heard of just these new
I know
places.
just very well. Yeah.
You get, so these are the people that, or these are the places that I would say they enjoy good water system, but Mangu, Basa, and a few other local governments. So I don't know, please, if your foundation can actually do something on that. And how do you cope on insecurity, please? I'm interested in that part. Thank you so much. That's basically my question.
All right. Thank you very much for your question. So I'll start with the pay-as-you-go stuff right now, because I partnered with the Grown Force the Grown Force organization, and that's one of the equipment they are trying to like sell to the world, to people to know more about the pay-as-you-go system. Is a system just like an ATM where you tap it and water comes out. Actually, I did that project in my in last year. I installed that particular ATM for them, but since last year, my mind have not allowed me for them to use the pay as you go. I give them the water free of charge. But when the organization asks me like how far, I tell them, yes, that they are using it. But I know the situation of things in Nigeria, and because of these organizations, they're outside the country, don't really know how people suffer and everything. I believe that the pay-as-you-go will work well in cities like Lagos, Abuja, and all that. But in communities like in rural communities, I don't think if anytime we announce that they will start paying for water, they will abandon that project. That's what I'm just, but with time, we'll have to preach this pay-as-you-go, because it's through this pay-as-you-go, you have to get money to sustain this project, because it's not easy sustaining this project. That's where I'm really like working on the sustainability. I saw a question, how do you monitor this project? So it's not easy. Once we finish a project, we kind of put caretakers there, and every month I kind of give them stipends. You understand? Actually, the community help, we have like a round meeting, the community help, and also Rector Cares kind of give them stipends. You understand? No matter how small, just to encourage them and keep them going, and let them know that, yes, this is your own thing. As much as Rector Cares Foundation is trying to provide this clean water, trust me, it's not easy, because most times, like the last project I did last year, in under 6 months, the pump spoiled. They had to call me, Rector Cares. I had to, and it's a solar pump. I had to spend around 300,000 to work on the motor of the pump and install it back. So trust me, it's not easy. But when you talk to people, people will be like, you've done this water project, you've handed it over to the community, you're not supposed to be helping them again. But I don't know if I can sleep well, knowing that the water project I did last year or 2 years ago is no longer working and is abandoned. I don't think I'm that kind of person. So I'm fine, like the way we all try to understand this whole longevity and trying to understand this whole water project. And I'm also learning every day. Every day I'm cracking my brain to see how I'm going to do this water project, hand it over, and make them not contact me every time, because sometimes these people, they are very entitled that even to cut their own grass around the project is a problem. They will call me to give them 2,000 naira to cut their own grass. That's how bad it is. So I'm telling you, like, this is first, I'm telling you, I can even show you an alert of 3 days ago. I had to send 2,000 naira for them to cut their own grass in the, that is surrounded in the whole project. So these are things that we see every day. We crack our brain to, and we are trying to educate them. That's why I'm also trying to get volunteers to go and meet these people and talk to them that Rector Cares have done this project. People should calm down and take this project as your own and love it and use it well. You understand? Then it's a learning process. Then the insecurity one, my brother, is by the grace of God that we are doing this thing. You understand? Like last 2 weeks, I was in the East. I traveled because I'm trying to see if I can talk to organizations in Port Harcourt. So I landed in Port Harcourt from Port Harcourt, I came all the way to Owerri. I grew up in Owerri. Actually, because I grew up in Owerri, I was born and brought up in Owerri. Sometimes I'm not really scared. That's where I was born. So I believe that nothing will happen to me. But although a lot of things happened there, then I'm from Abia State. A lot of things go on in Abia State. So I go around these places, and it's just the grace of God that I travel all these places and nothing really happened. Then I also create this bonding with communities I do stuff with. Any place I do stuff with, they want to give me, like in my own community, when I did mine, they gave me a chieftaincy title. You understand? Even this last project I did, they wanted to give me a chieftaincy. I said I don't want. So most times I have this bonding with both the Reverend Father of the community, the women of the community. The women, they know me. During the launching, most times the women come out to come and sing for me and everything. So I create this bond with them. Actually, when I'm building this project, they don't even know I'm the one building the project because I disguise myself because of insecurity. So they think I'm the engineer. So when I'm launching it, they say, is this guy that did this water, is the rector, is this? By that time, it's already late. I've done the project, I've gone because of insecurity purpose. But I bond with them. Anywhere they see me, I even have some of their WhatsApp details. So it's just a way of like having the relationship with them so that they will not have this bad mind. If many of them come and meet me during the project or anything, say their son is sick or they need, I try to give them money, even that if that is outside my scope of work, I still try to help them. Like I'm from the community. Meanwhile, I'm not from the community. So I bond with them in all aspects. So I feel that's with that way, they don't have really any bad mind to do anything against me. They'd be like, this guy that is not even from this place is doing this thing for us. Why should we call kidnappers to kidnap him or whatever? But I know that Southeast is crazy. I grew up from there, but I just believe that I'm doing a good thing, and maybe, and by his grace, and no bad thing will come against me. So that's the way I work. Then there's the last question you asked. I've forgotten the last question. He said, okay, the north, I'm working on the northern side actually. It's just that I've not really gotten a good partnership. Like if clan, like I spoke with the lady from Clan Initiative, if we can work on something and I get a funding and we do something in future, it's okay to have people that know a particular area, because if you don't know if you don't have anybody in a particular community who can talk to these youths, who can clear the road for you, it's difficult to do water project. Trust me, you can have all the money to do water project. If these youths they want to frustrate you, they're ready to frustrate you, and you will not do anything. So it's good to have someone on ground, because water projects have stages. We are going to do a survey to even know that there is water there. We have to run a survey. We have to call drilling machine to come to that site, and we have to call workers to do a lot of things. So there's a lot that go on in all these water projects. And if we don't have someone from a particular community who can help us, grant us, tell us that our staff will be safe throughout the whole process and all that, is really key for us. We just can't just jump into one community because we want to do water project and something happen. We have to like know the pros and cons before we do some things in some communities. Maybe it may be government official or government organizations, maybe they have their own way because they hire policemen, army, and all that to secure a particular community they want to do water project. But NGOs like us, the money we're going to call police or army can, and for 30 days, can even fund another water project. So so that's the thing, because to hire a policeman, a group of policemen of 5 or 7 is about 150,000, 200,000 a day. So if your water project is for like 2 to 3 weeks, just because of your security. So that's the issues we're having, and we'll keep doing our best and see how it goes. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Onyedikachi again. Thank you for honoring our invites and
Thank you very much.
gracing our July webinar. So this is where we would like wrap it up or draw the curtain for this month's webinar series. I hope we have all learned one thing or the other. I hope it has been a very insightful and informative session for us. And till next month again, where we bring you another very good time of learning on our August webinar. So we say thank you for joining us and see you next month. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
everyone. Thank you for having me. I really
Have a
appreciate
good weekend.
it. You too.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.